Hi Capricorn, this is your 2016 astrology video prognosis and the horoscope with me, Lada from Astrology.com. For everyone who has the ascendant, sun or moon in Capricorn. And you can find out if you have anything in Capricorn by going to my birth chart calculator at Astrology.com and entering your time and place of birth. You need the time of birth in order to find out what your ascendant and your moon is. And you go to the planetary detail table, and there you can see your ascendant sign, sun, moon. Usually they're in different signs. Sometimes they can be in the same. And you can see the degree as well, because I might be giving specific degrees for some of you Capricorns. And you can, from there take notes when you're listening to me. And if you're born in the night, for example, definitely the moon sign prediction will resonate very strongly with you. Or if you're a woman, the moon sign, the moon rules women or people born during the night, so they can resonate strongly on the emotional and the material level with this. If you're born during the day, the sun prediction, or if you're a man or a more career-oriented woman, the sun prediction will be very correct for you. And the ascendant prediction is correct for everyone, because the ascendant is the physical body. But you need to know your time of birth for that. So what happens if you're Capricorn, sun, ascendant, or moon? Let's start with the most important planet for you Capricorn. It's Saturn. Wherever Saturn is, this is where the biggest focus for you is. And this is where the most important things are happening in your life, because Saturn rules you. And wherever Saturn, we find it situated by transit, by influence, this is where there's a lot of focus in your life. So Saturn, the whole 2016, will be in your 12th house. The 12th house is Sagittarius. From Capricorn, it's the last sign before Saturn comes into your sign in 2017-18. So this indicates that while Saturn is in the 12th house, it might not be the best time to start on a totally new direction in your life. Particularly if your ascendant is in Capricorn, this is very important, like almost 100%. The sun and moon, you can start on a new direction, but it's probably up to 20-30%. But especially if the ascendant is in Capricorn, while Saturn is in your 12th house, don't change your career suddenly. Go, for example, become from banker, go become a gardener, or try to start on something that you have no experience in, because this is a concluding cycle when Saturn is in the 12th house. It means that you're completing things that you've already started doing, that you are perfecting them, completing them, or wrapping them up. And maybe you start looking around, but you're preparing. Maybe you're researching psychologically. Maybe you're researching, with books and studies of some sort, or by reevaluating and assessing the switch that can happen from 2018 onwards when Saturn is in your sign. So till then, especially in 2016, take the time to review your life, because you're completing a cycle of 29 years. Saturn takes 29 years to return back, whether to your moon, sun, or ascendant position. So it's like a mini new beginning that you'll have in 2018 approximately. But till then, it's time to wrap up things, complete things, or continue to work in a direction that you've already taken, that you already have experience in. And I've seen many people that actually go on a big change in life, and it can happen. But a lot of outside circumstances that are unforeseeable, that you're out of control of, can get involved in the situation. So it makes it much harder to handle and much harder to put in the direction that you want, because 12th house is this house, a bit of a fated house, where events are a bit out of your control, out of your hand, a bit more fated, So if you're willing to go with the flow, and the flow makes you to go and live in another country, go with that, but be prepared for the unexpected. Be prepared that things might not exactly work as you want. It can still work better than you expect, but not exactly as you want. And when Saturn enters your sign from 2018, approximately the end of 2017, you have the chance of this new beginning. If you start a new beginning now, be prepared that in 2018 you have to do another one. If you have the energy for that, okay, but usually when Saturn is in the 12th house, from sun, ascendant, or moon, there might not be the exact resources that you want, or the exact mobilization that is needed, the proper mobilization of resources, And things can lead to more expenses down the road, because 12th house is the house of expenses. So grand, big, new projects, it's advisable not to do unless your ascendant is in Sagittarius and your sun is in Capricorn, for example. Then Saturn now in 2016 is transiting your first house, or your moon is in Sagittarius or something, so Saturn is also transiting your first house. Then you can do a new beginning. But then when Saturn comes over your sun or ascendant again, 2018, if you have anything in Capricorn, you'd have to restructure something. You'd have to maybe start, reevaluate it again and put it together in a different way. But I've often seen that people, when Saturn transits the 12th house, they have a chance to travel, to relocate to foreign places, so to go in some different environment than what they've been. Usually, though, it's not the final move. It's not like that's it. Usually, it's almost like a preparatory stage before Saturn comes into your first house, when you can see things clearly and you can impact the events in the direction that you want. Because while it's in the 12th house, it's more like things that are set in motion already impact you, that you've set in motion from before. If you want to make some changes, try to make changes in spheres of your life that you're already familiar with, that you already have experience with, that you've already done, maybe whether it's your career, whether it's something that is not totally new, because after that you have to start again something new. But careers, because Saturn rules hard work, is the planet of social status, career responsibilities. But careers which are 12th house, they can prosper now. And actually, any careers can prosper as long as you're not shifting the direction in a huge way. If you're making maybe just completing things, you can see results, because 12th house is final results, the results of a whole cycle of many years, the efforts of... 12th house careers can prosper a lot. And what is that? Because you're going to work very hard, because Saturn requires very hard work, whatever it is. But 12th house careers are anything to do with imagination, with art, with creativity. Because 12th house is the house of the subconscious. People who are in deep research, scientists, for example, someone who is researching for a doctorate, someone who is doing some scientific research, someone who is doing some preparation and deep research on something else, they can have a very busy and productive time. Because Saturn is in the 12th house, which is isolated. It helps the person focus more, helps the person get in touch with almost spiritual truths. And all discoveries that come through research, they come to us because we've put a lot of energy and focus in that thought, and then a divine and connection to divine wisdom comes through that, and inspiration. Don't think that you have thought out of this research yourself. Don't think that the answers for that are given to you. It's always, you just set your mind in that direction, you think a lot about it, you research, and God's grace gives you big new discoveries or such things, But anything or inspirations, whether it's creative work, whether it's fashion, art, music, you can feel much more isolated now, though, because when Saturn is in the 12th house, is the house of isolation. You might need to spend more time alone. A lot of Capricorns will feel that. You might feel lonelier than other times, but it's a needed time to reflect. Even if you're not doing big discoveries or working in those more creative spheres which need illumination and inspiration, which Saturn can make you be very methodical about and receive those inspirations because you're working hard on them. But even if you're not working in those spheres, just reevaluating your life is something that's going to be a big theme in 2016 and even 2017. Reevaluating your achievements till now and preparing for what you're going to leave behind. And a lot of times, a sense of dissatisfaction arises when Saturn is in the 12th house, because we're supposed to let go of the old. It's a preparatory stage for a new beginning in your life, which starts a couple of years from now, or a bit less even. And the preparatory stage involves detachment from something. And this detachment, if you're someone who is very deeply hanging on to the past, can come in unpleasant ways, like disillusionment, disappointment, being hurt, being betrayed in some way, because 12th house rules betrayals and all such things, and being misled, being hidden enemies undermining you, or creating obstacles to you. And maybe a lot of you Capricorns already felt it in 2015. Such hidden forces or people that undermine you, or indications of betrayal, or things concluding on ending. It sounds very scary. But that's if you're too attached to what is, because Saturn wants to prepare you for this new phase. And it's almost like a time to, you disconnect easiest when you've been hurt. And because then you say, okay, that's it. I'm leaving this behind. It's useless. I'm going to focus my energy on something more productive. And you're preparing also for what this more productive thing will be. That will give you a foundation for the next 28 years when Saturn comes in your first house. And it's very important that now, while Saturn is in your 12th house, you evaluate those things. What is needed in your life, what you have to let go of, how you have to change your life, what new beginnings to do over the next few years. And you might feel a little bit like a stuck period when Saturn is in the 12th house, because you're you're straddling between two phases of your life. You're still in the past and you want to take the step forward, but it's kind of you're there, one leg in the past, one leg in the future, and they say then when you do that, you pee all over the present. And I don't want to scare you, it's just that you might feel a bit stuck because you want to move forward, but it's still not the time, and you realize that something is coming to an end, a big chapter in your life is coming to an end. But Saturn wants you to take your time rather than rush ahead, to think about it, to prepare for this new stage in your life, which will come a bit later, which will come definitely in 2017, 18 onwards. And if you're feeling stuck, don't worry, maybe it's a good time to take a trip, to go away some isolated place, to spend more time alone, because this is how Saturn can help you. If you follow the dictates of 12th house, you can manifest the best possible results of Saturn in the 12th house, which is make a reevaluation of your life, let go of what is not necessary, prepare to embrace the new, research about it, prepare, master, mobilize your energy for it, because you'll need it when Saturn is in your first house, because you'll be laying those foundations. But don't yet go doing it. And now I've seen that people very much fare great when Saturn is in the 12th house if they go away maybe to an ashram, or maybe move to another country that's very different to theirs, to reevaluate their life, to detach. They can become expatriates, they can travel to foreign places, they can spend a longer time in foreign places or in isolation of some sort. You might decide to get a little cottage in the mountain or away from the hustle and bustle of life, where you can isolate yourself, spend more time alone at home, because this is a necessary meditative process of gathering energy, of chopping off the necessary, slowly disconnecting from the past. It won't happen over one day. And if you're having disappointments and betrayals and things like that, just know that 12th house is the house of paying off karma. So your actions, which is Saturn, for the past 28 years, you might reap off some karma for that now. And I'm not saying you're a bad person or anything, If you're stealing or robbing or lying, then Saturn can be pretty harsh when it's in the 12th house, because it gives you the results of your actions. If you cheated on your wife for years, and you can lose that marriage now. If you've been stealing or lying, you can get to prison even. 12 houses, places of isolation, but that's in very extreme cases, But still, Capricorn who has moral problems and been doing some dodgy stuff, have to be careful, because the next 2016 and 17 is a time of seeing the results of karma coming to show them what they've done, and they can correct it. Either by spending time alone, either by, what's that word called in the Bible, where you are sorry about the mistakes you've done, you're really sorry, and you pray, you spend time in meditative, in prayerful mode, where you're really examining your life from the past and deciding, I'm not going to repeat those same mistakes again. If you adopt such kind of mind, and if you really examine the situations from the past, if you've hurt someone, if you've not been honest, if you've been too controlling, too judgmental towards someone, it doesn't have to be big, bad things. It can be small things, like you're too harsh towards someone or towards yourself, too critical. You need the time alone to reevaluate this, and to, that's why it's a little bit tougher time when Saturn is in the 12th house, but it's good for traveling, for spending time alone, for creative and research jobs and careers, jobs in hospitals, in prisons, in isolated places. It's good for healing. And it's very important now, Capricorns. While Saturn is in your 12th house, prepare yourself health-wise. Because when it transits your ascendant or your moon or sun, which correspond also to physical body and health, so in order for you not to have health problems, now in the next 2 years, 2016 and 17, really take care of yourself. If you have to leave a job, and if the job is putting too much stress on you psychologically, and take a year off. If you cannot afford that, just go to a position that is not so demanding, that puts so much pressure on you psychologically, because you need to prepare your body and mobilize all its energies, because when the new start comes, you will need that. And if you have been abusing your body, not eating well, not, for example, smoking, drinking too much, or not taking proper care, or having some unhealthy habits, not having enough movements, when Saturn transits your ascendant, sun or moon, then those health problems appear in your life. That's when they culminate in a couple of years. So, and already you might be feeling that you need to take care of your health. You might be feeling that. You definitely will notice it. And if you now, 2016, 17, do that, don't worry. After that, when Saturn transits, your sign, things will be okay. But you have to take steps a couple of years before that. So it's very important to take care of your soul, of your physical body, to maybe not be so busy with others and chasing other worldly things, but focus more within healing, concluding, ending, analyzing, all those things. Okay, it can be a good time to take a break, Where is Jupiter? Wherever Jupiter is, it helps us and supports us. And Jupiter is in the 9th house for you till September 2016. So wherever Jupiter is, we have an opportunity to grow there, to expand. And 9th house is also connected to foreign countries. So for a lot of you Capricorns, might be a year where you have a chance to live somewhere. You have a chance to go to a different country. You have a chance to, travel. 9th house is higher education. It might be a time when you have a chance to start pre-qualifying for something, And especially this is very much in tune. If you're going to start a new beginning in a couple, 2-3 years, well, Saturn is in your sign, Jupiter now can very much give you new inspiration about what you want to study, so you can, what you want to work in a few years, so you can start preparing, you start studying, you can start pre-qualifying, find a tutor, a mentor. When Jupiter is in the 9th house, it helps, it brings to you guru figures, teachers, like a mentor. Maybe at your work, a mentor can come that helps you make good decisions, or in your overall, where your life is heading, like a life coach. You can get a life coach who helps you reevaluate your life and where you want to head. It's fantastic time till September 2016 to do that. It will give you so much clarity about the path you are supposed to take. So you see, Jupiter is supporting you actually in what Saturn wants to do with you, to complete the past, to complete and to orient yourself towards the future. So Jupiter is giving you hope. You're not going to be left so much there, stuck in the unknown, like it can happen when Saturn is in the 10th house. Jupiter makes sure that it gives you flashes of inspiration through people, through others, through, it's beautiful, sun, through others, through people, through certain situations, that it helps you move forward. Okay, and 9th house again, good for higher education, for hope can come to you, hope for the future as well. Spiritual, you can start getting very much interested in spiritual matters, studying, reading books of inspiration, autobiographies of inspiration, books connected to, or books or courses or classes, You can be very much busy in that area of life. And just be careful, because Saturn in the 12th always brings a bit more expenses than other times in life. A bit more cautious when it comes to expenses. But that's how Saturn and Jupiter are affecting you. And Jupiter can give a very much supporting influence to those of you Capricorns who are born, who have their ascendant, sun or moon from 12 till 24 degrees in Capricorn. So 12 till 24 degrees in Capricorn, which means that you are born from around the 3rd of January to around the 14th of January. 14th, 15th of January almost, you know. So 3rd to around 14th, 15th of January, Jupiter will send 3 times its positive trine aspect to you. So whether it's your sun, moon or ascendant, something very positive can develop. If it's your moon in your private life, with family, with women in your life, in your emotional life, if it's your ascendant as well, overall in your path and direction in life, opportunities that come to you, things that happen easily. If it's your sun, something to do with your career, maybe you can get some kind of a promotion or move things forward, or if you're working on some projects, you can see the results, you can have expansion there in regards to such projects and personal life and goals. If you're born around those days or have ascendant or moon from 14 to 24 degrees in Capricorn, it's very auspicious for you. But some Capricorns might have it a little bit rougher. Those Capricorns that are born from not rougher, but a bit more surprises can come to you. And they're almost the same area. They're born from 16 to 25 degrees Capricorn. So what's going to happen here? Both Jupiter and Uranus are sending aspects to your planets. So basically, again, people born more towards from the 7th to around the 14th, 15th, actually even to the 16th of January. They are having also Uranus transit, so there will be sudden surprises. Uranus brings sudden reversals, changes, surprises. Your life will be constantly one after another. Something new comes, something surprises you. You didn't expect that. It can reverse your life. It can want you to break free from situations which are limiting, and Uranus helps that. If you're stuck in a situation, Uranus, if you're born on those degrees, Uranus says, that's it. I'm no longer going to listen what's right according to society or others, what I have to do. No, if I don't like this relationship, I'll leave it. If I don't like this family, I'm not going to stay in it. If I don't like this career, I'm not going to tolerate it. And you're going to make big changes. The only way to keep things as they are is to make a big change. That you cannot keep things as they are. When Uranus is around, you can't keep the status quo. But you can transform. If for example, if your moon is around those degrees that I mentioned, 16 to 25 in Capricorn, your family, big changes. You might have to relocate. You might have to make a big change in regards to your relationship with your wife. You might have to make a big change in regards to something with your mother, in the life of your mother. Big change in regards to your emotional, psychological situation. Otherwise, those changes come to you from outside and are quite disruptive. If it's your sun, those degrees, born from around the 7th to around the 16th of January, it's in regards to your career. A big change will happen there. Redirection of your priorities, of your goals, with authority figures, something that pushes you in a direction to change matters, to restructure them in some way. And there might be surprises out of the blue, so be prepared for you can't be prepared for the unexpected, but there'll be a lot of dynamism when Uranus aspects those planets. Okay, so that's what I see for you. And there is a lot of feeling of liberation and freedom, but it happens a bit rebelliously when Uranus aspects your planets, a little bit disruptive to the environment and safety around you. But that's what the planets require from you, to get you a bit unstuck of certain limiting situations if you're born around those days, and definitely you will feel those transits, and last but not least, Mars is retrograde in your 11th house of friendships, so there might be certain power struggles and arguments, especially around the spring, summer for the Northern Hemisphere with friends, there might be, it's the best way to use that energy is to do some mutual group activity or project in a group or society or with friends, where you can harness that Mars energy. Otherwise, it can create some conflicts in regards to friendships. And the whole process continues to actually August. So 2016 is a time to sort out problems in friendships. And Mars is also retrograde in your 12th house for a part, which is your expenses. So be careful, for your finances. In a sense, be careful not to make too many sudden expenses. Prepare for that. You can always make lemonade out of lemons. You know, wise people can always do that. No difficult transits scare them in any way. So this is what I see for you, Capricorn. Thank you very much. And you see, Jupiter brings you opportunities. Jupiter is supportive to most Capricorns with its beautiful aspects. But Uranus creates sudden, a lot of sudden changes. But Jupiter brings out new opportunities that you can take over. And for all other Capricorns, it's a good idea not to prepare for a new stage in their life, a proper new stage. I'm not talking like just sudden changes, but it's something that will be like a new beginning in their life, which comes after a couple of years. Thank you.